Ooh, that's, wow, handful of belt right there. Let's fix that. Right. Ow, that hurt. Whacked myself right there on the gun. 176. Low on the jaw. 171. The dot went boop, past his ear, which means had I pulled, I would have zipped around downrange. The hand has to make long enough contact on the slap to pucker the fabric, because the fabric basically comes up briefly from the aeration between the fingers. They consolidate and contract. So it's a hard slap against your abdominal wall. Ooh, wow. Almost threw the gun at the bad guy. .179. Okay, I think that's enough reps to get the point across. Alright guys, welcome to the range. Why am I doing this? Doing here is the standard from the Handgun Combatives and or Tier 1 Citizen. Basically, it's Dave Spalding's Handgun Combatives. It's draw from concealment, one shot on target, 7 yards, 2 seconds flat. Yes, as you can see, that's not that hard to do, most especially with an optic on your handgun, and with a very nicely modified handgun like this one from AIM Surplus. By the way, as an aside, yes, this was a sample from my friend Brian Flanagan, who owns AIM Surplus. Their laser services are unreal. I mean, guys, top notch work. Their stuff is really nice. So anyways, when you have a really nicely tricked out handgun, it makes tasks like this not that hard to do, and it makes them a pleasure to do as well. So the point of this video is this. I pointed out something in a video not too long ago about not pushing through bad reps and launching good ammo, or basically not launching good ammo after bad. And people just totally lost their because people went in the comment section, lost all good sense, went straight hot pockets on me, and basically were like, yeah, you always need to push through and get the reps. And I was like, stop. When you've reached my level, you already know what the problem is. Why in the world would you launch a bad round knowing you're not going to make the time, you're not going to hit the target, you're probably going to miss the target, skip around downrange, bounce it off the grass, thank God the trees and the hill are going to catch it, whoop-de-doo. And someone's going to say, well, but you train as you, how's it go? You fight as you train. Yeah, as long as your brain understands that what you're doing is a canned event, guys, it's okay. Because do you think in a real fight I'm going to go, no, I need to reset because I didn't get a good draw, so stand by. No, guys, I'm going to take whatever I can get in that situation, and I'm going to do it. But when you've reached my level of proficiency and my level of training, you don't launch bad rounds. You fix the problem. I had some draws where my hand skipped off my shirt because it's dry from doing dishes. My gun didn't come out properly. I had that kind of a grasp going on. For those that don't understand, that gap right there needs to be filled like that, which is why my index finger always goes high, so that it's creating tension down and pushing the gun into my hand. This is a Glock 17, not a 19. I'm a whole lot of dude in one place. And so I am driving this gun tightly into my grasp so that when I shoot, watch the handgun. Notice it isn't doing a lot of this. I'm able to control it, and every one of those shots is right there. Because I've practiced for years drawing and pointing a gun. And actually, my dry fire looks like this. Actually, no, I'm sorry, my dry fire is this. What I'm practicing is getting it out, finding my optic, pulling my trigger halfway, finding the wall, and stopping. This is a ZEV V4 connector. So it has very little, you know how Glock has a speed bump in it? This one is like a little boop. It's just the tiniest little blip, and it's a very consistent smooth pull all the way to the rear. So I'm practicing finding that halfway tension and stopping. But the reason I'm doing this with a loaded chamber is at a moment's notice, should I feel like pulling the trigger and finishing the rep, I can. Every once in a while you just have one of those where the dot cannot be found. It sort of hovers off to the right, off the head, and you got to drag it back in again. I've been working with optics on handguns long before it was considered cool to have an optic on a handgun. Where? I had it on this weapon. The GS-17 has had an optic on it since before it was cool to have an optic on a handgun. This is a handgun. All this is a glorified handgun. And I've had fiber optics driven, that's RMR 08G, this is RMR 04. I've had optics, fiber optics driven optics on handguns for a long time, which is why I trust them. I know them. I've worked with them forever. And I would still be on hard sights were it not for the fact that I had LASIK surgery. When you have LASIK surgery, you gain a lot of distance vision, but your close-up is blown out really bad. And I was reaching the point where I really couldn't find that front side post and really get it crisp the way I wanted it. So I went to the RMR 04, which is a 7 MOA dot. And by the way, guys, a 7 MOA dot, fiber optics driven, is almost identical in size to a 3.25 MOA dot, with the dot turned up bright enough to see it on a bright day against a target painted in white because of the blooming effect. But with this, you actually have a distinct circle that you can work with. And at 7 MOA, this is smaller than the human eye. Oh, little ant. There's an ant on that target, and I can clearly see it. Don't be that guy. Don't be killing God's creatures. So anyways, I think I'll stop there. Guys, don't push through bad reps. Put in the work, understand what you did wrong. If you don't understand what you did wrong, then you don't even know you did something wrong, and you're just going to push through. But if you understand what you did wrong, fix it, and then go. Yeah. Oh, there goes the comment section again. Hot Pockets! All right, guys. I thank you so much for your sling purchases, for your donations, for your support that keeps this channel independent of corporate meddling, because my goodness gracious, the manufacturers are constantly saying, hey, we want to send you free crap. No. My support comes from you guys, and my devotion goes to you to give you truth, unfettered truth. As always, God bless you all. Get those guns out in practice. Have a good one.